Hello everyone, it's been a month since I posted my mini documentary about being a young dad. It now has over 1 million views, so I thought, hey, let's make a little behind the scenes video or a little video about the creation process that I went through, why did I make the choices I did with the video, and yeah, let's get into it. Ooh, come on. Bonus round, you wanna do it? This is what life looks like as a dad.
Hold on, let me start from the beginning.
A lot of the clips I show in here were just random clips I collected, but this was the first clip that I made of like, okay, I kind of want to make a documentary and I want like some starting footage that just shows what it's like being a dad. And so that's what this clip is. So this whole like little montage almost of me giving knuckles to my baby mama's stomach, this was an idea because I didn't know what type of video I wanted to make. This was many years ago, but I was like, this would be kind of cool to collect footage of me just giving knuckles, and then once my son was born I could give him a knuckles, just like make a funny little video. And I decided to add it to the documentary.
I certainly wouldn't wish upon someone to have to balance raising a child, going to school, working, college lifestyle, all that stuff. I wouldn't wish that upon anyone, but it happens. So let's get this out of the way. Was it planned? Obviously not.
So I know that it's like, you know, kind of funny the way that I framed it, but truly, I mean, it is scary, and it was quite the moment. Finding that out on a FaceTime call is also not preferred, although I don't suggest people, you know, having kids until, you know, they're married and in a good spot. Also, like, the whole point of this documentary was kind of to prove that, like, you know, if you're gonna have a kid, it's gonna be okay. You know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. That was kind of the overall point of all this.
My whole life just flashed before my eyes. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. I had no idea what to do. So I texted two people. I texted my best friend and I texted my sister, who also had a kid at 19 years old. For the first month or so, we kept the news to ourselves and our closest friends, and we were just talking about it between us, trying to figure out how we were gonna do this. Abortion was not an option. Our first hump to get over was the parents.
This is all true. Everything in my documentary was true. This was actually 3 hours of footage. My story was all over the place. So I did use like a general outline when editing this video to make it like more of a story instead of me like, you know, hyper focusing on one point and like going down a rabbit hole about it, or, you know, ranting about something else. I did want to keep it in like a story mode.
This is the situation, and this is what we're gonna do about it. Especially me, you know, talking to my girlfriend at the time's parents. You know, if I just said, oh, yeah, she's pregnant, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but like, you don't want to say that.
You can tell by the way I stutter, like, this is very much not scripted. Like, I'm really just rambling, and I try to cut out any like bad parts, but I think I wanted to keep the authenticity, because the whole point of this was to show my son when he's older that he can watch this and you know, understand the story of how he came about and what his parents went through and all that. And so I wanted to make sure my personality stayed in it.
Unfortunately, during this 9-month period leading up to my son's birth, his mother and I's relationship was already starting to decline. It's not something that we wanted. We knew that we wanted to be both parents, active parents in our son's life.
And for the record, we both still are active parents in our son's life. We're not together, and we haven't been for a very long time, but we still are, and the grandparents still are, so shout out to them.
So that was the plan. Two college kids were going to move in together into an apartment, raise a son while studying at university and working. What could go wrong? The moment everything changed was when I held my son for the first time. I already knew I was going to love him.
This photo, I posted this photo on my Snapchat, random day, right? A lot of people didn't know what was going on. My close friends and even like mediocre friends knew about it, but you know, a lot of people didn't, and I just posted this out of nowhere. People were like, oh, is that a new nephew? Congrats, man. I was like, nope.
But in that moment, when you're holding your son for the first time, you guys make eye contact. That love is incomparable to anything I'd ever experienced in my life. It was sacrificial love. It was dedicated love. It was unparamount. It was so unbelievable how much I love this child.
That is one of my favorite photos, okay? Because that is like a 2-hour-old child, and he's holding my finger, and I was just obsessed with this kid. And notice all that hair. Look at all that hair he had. Crazy.
Fun fact, actually, you know how people always say that you should talk to the kid while he's in the womb? Well, that actually paid off, because in the hospital, obviously, my son is crying. He was just born. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. And the doctors are, you know, have to give him these tests, and they have to move him around. They have to weigh him. They have to do all these things. The only time he would stop crying is if I was actively talking to him. Why? Because every single day that I could, I would just spend time just like chatting it up with my girlfriend at the time's stomach.
I'm happy that I kept that in. That's a really funny story. And it's true. Once again, if you talk to your kid while he's in the womb, he responds and he remembers your voice. That's a very, very real thing. That's a kid in there, man. And he recognized my voice, and he still does, and he did since the beginning. It's amazing.
First few days in the hospital, I was overwhelmed with love, but I also got to a whole new level of fear. Reality hit me so hard.
So some people in the comments did realize that I put Eminem in the background. I love Eminem. He's probably my favorite rapper of all time. I don't listen to a lot of rap, but Eminem's pretty dang good. He was a single dad, you know, and he makes songs about his daughter Haley. And for the people that know Eminem and know what those songs are about, I use the instrumentals of those songs in the background, and people caught on. I saw the comments. People were like, hey, he used Mockingbird in the background and stuff like that. And I'm like, yup. That did mean that the video couldn't be monetized, but the point of this wasn't even to be monetized. Remember, I posted this just so there was some sort of, like, almost a time capsule cemented into history that my son could watch when he grows up. And so I wasn't even thinking about monetizing the video. I didn't even know if it'd get more than 10 views, let alone 1 million. And so I wasn't worried about the copyright and stuff, because I really wanted to use music that, like, represented how I felt and that fit with the video. And I'm glad that people appreciated that, because I thought this turned out great. Like, this is my, like, you know, I would just put this video on a USB, like a little USB drive, and give it to my son when he grows up. But I'm gonna lose that thing, all right? So that's why I posted it online, is so that no matter what time in history, this can always be found by my son when he grows up, so he can watch it.
When you're holding your kid, you're like, oh my gosh.
Look how awkward I look holding this. I don't know if anyone noticed it, but that was like, this is really early, right? And I'm all like crunched up. I'm trying to like feed him, and I don't know how to do it. I've gotten much better. Being a dad makes you really good at giving a baby a bottle. I used to hate changing diapers. I don't like changing diapers, but I'm fast. I'm fast now. It's like I can do it with my eyes closed. I can do it with one hand. I can do it with one hand holding him, eyes closed, on a swivel chair. Swear to God.
I remember his first words. It was dad, dad. Him crawling for the first time, him rolling over, him laughing.
These are all cute. I mean, he's probably 3 months old in this. These are probably all between like 3 months and 6 months, maybe. I don't really remember, but these are some cute clips.
So over the first year of fatherhood, I just become more and more in love with this child. I could not even comprehend it, and I still can't to this day, how lucky I am to have him. He gave me a purpose in life, and he's also the best kid I could have ever asked for. I've gotten so lucky.
And he is still the best kid ever, and I am still so lucky.
Unfortunately, over this time, my relationship with his mother had only gotten worse, to the point where we weren't even together anymore, yet still living together and raising a kid together. But at this point, I'm averaging about 5 hours of sleep, right? Because throughout the day, I'm either at a college class, at the gym, or watching my son. So the only time I was able to even, work on my own work or my own school was when he and his mother were sleeping.
That was like the craziest year and 9 months, let's just call it 2 years. That was the craziest 2 years ever, because I went from having a pregnant significant other to living, basically co-parenting in the same apartment with someone, raising a kid while in school. Like, that was a crazy time. And so that's why I mostly focused on this time. And then ever since, you've seen my vlogs probably. This is my, life has changed a lot from this. I'm glad I'm done with the stage. It was crazy.
Like I said before, I was really struggling with my mental health at the time, because not only was I trying to balance, fatherhood, which I was brand new to, and the college lifestyle, I also had just this overwhelming pressure of needing to provide for everyone around.
I wanted to talk about the mental health. I'm not over fixated on it. I wasn't trying to, guilt trip or victimize myself, but just because I wanted to make it known that it's very true. Like, and also, now that 1 million people have seen it, if someone that watched the video knew me at that time, if you're wondering why I was acting so down all the time, it's because of this. I was just dealing with it. Moving home, making some different choices has definitely helped me out a lot. The pressure is still there, but the mental health has definitely gone better, so.
Meanwhile, I know that my son's mother was dealing with very similar things. Being a young mother is one of the hardest things anyone can do ever. Unfortunately, she was dealing with extreme FOMO, which I could relate to. She would take any chance she could get to go and party with her friends. She would be leaving the apartment at 1 a.m. randomly to go live the college lifestyle. And that was something I was not okay with. And so I was stuck in a really hard dilemma. On one hand, I was doing everything I could to keep this family together for the sake of my son. On the other hand, I could not see a future with someone who obviously had different priorities in life than me. And so I decided to cancel the apartment.
Obviously, there are 1 million more details to this story, but that is the nicest way I could have put that. Just for the record, that is the nicest way I could have put it. It was really messy. It was really bad. I think we both turned out all right, and I wish her the best. And my son is loving life, and so it seems to be still the right choice. I felt like it was the right choice at that time. I felt like it was the right choice when filming this documentary, and I still feel like it was the right choice.
He comes running up to me, "Daddy, daddy, daddy." He gives me the biggest hug. He just jumps in my arms and he starts telling me things.
You know, now that I'm posting like some vlogs here and there, you guys get to see it way more, but like I didn't have much footage at this time of us. You know, I'd have little clips here and there, but I wasn't like really thinking about filming it. I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta be filming this stuff. These are memories that are amazing. You know, like I think about when I find like an old SD card or something with, you know, photos of when I was young and little like homemade videos that I used to make when I was really young, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these are gems, you know. And so I'm happy that I'm starting to film this stuff because it's gonna be good memories to have.
One of the best things about being a father is you get to be a kid again. It's so much fun. I get to go on swings, I get to play in sandboxes, I get to play with truck toys, I get to throw sticks into water, all that fun kid stuff you get to do again. Actually, one of the benefits of becoming a father at 19 is I'm still young, so I get to scramble up those playgrounds just fine. I'm jumping off the swing sets, I get to wrestle with them, and my back won't ache in the morning. You know, I'm young. I still got a whole life in front of me.
So true, still so true. I mean, I posted a YouTube short a little while ago about this, but the whole being sad that childhood's over is very relatable to me. Like, nostalgia is almost sad, and it's not because it was bad, like my childhood was bad, but just because it's gone. You know, we're all grown up now. But having a child is the closest thing that you'll get to reliving your childhood is through your son or daughter.
When me and my son are wrestling, you know, I'm allowing him to hit me and kick me because we're wrestling, right? But don't you dare hit your grandma, ever.
Okay, so remember, this was made like a few months ago, and a few months to a kid is a lot. Like, they grow up so freaking fast. It's crazy. And so right now, he's in his terrible 2 stage, which isn't really that terrible, but he's just being more vocal about things, and he's kind of like, wait a minute, I kind of have free will. And so his current problem is sometimes he thinks it's okay to say, stop it. And that's his main thing right now. So my son will just say, you know, stop it. I'm like, excuse you? Like, what do you mean stop it? And you know, that's when the discipline comes in. You gotta have respect for each other. You know, treat him like a human being. You know, your kid isn't your pet. But also, he needs to respect you, and he does need to do what you say. And stop it is not a good thing to say to your parent.
Don't quite have the L down right now, so it's I owe you. So when I do have my son in my possession and he's not with his mom, our daily routine is we wake up and we typically just start playing right away. You know, screw breakfast.
Is there there's something on my shirt? Why did no one... I literally have not noticed that until now. There is something on my shirt right there. It's like a hair or like a string from my shirt or something. What? Is it there the whole time? Oh my gosh, it is. That's terrible. Why did no one tell me that?
Right? He loves vacuuming. I don't even have to like force him to. He asks to vacuum. Vacuum. It's great. He's perfect. He is literally perfect. And you know, even though we're not one big perfect family, I still want to build something strong for him. You know, I want him to grow up happy and safe and knowing that he's loved from both sides, because I know he is. That's the mission at the end of the day, right? Is for him to be loved and taken care of.
I really wanted to, you know, make this video something with context, and you know, there's the broad overall feelings of the video and the situation, but also I wanted to add little specifics. You know, when he was this age, he was saying vacuum like all the time. Now he says so many words, right? But vacuum was one of his earliest words that he would say like repeatedly. And so I wanted throughout this video to give, you know, the overall broad feeling, but then also give like really hyper specific examples of what he was like at this age. And I know I've said this like tons of times, but this documentary was for him originally.
Right, so if you're a dad or you're going to be a dad, just be his best friend, be his rock. And also, you got this, okay? So now I'm going all philosophical, but if you guys are going to become parents soon, you got this.
That's basically why the video took like 3 hours to film, was just because I kept going on these like philosophical tangents or talking about religion or politics, and I kind of wanted to keep that out of it. But that's just kind of how I talk, and I kept this one in because I started realizing, you know, depending on who saw this, you know, there might be some people my age that are having kids too, and they're scared. They're scared out of their pants. You know what I mean? And turns out it was true, because I got lots of Instagram DMs. I got a lot of comments on that video talking about people's journeys of becoming, you know, a young dad or mom as well. Or I also got DMs and comments from people saying, hey, I'm about to be a dad, or I'm about to be a mom. I don't know what I'm doing. And so I'm glad I left this stuff in.
Calm down. You can do it. Dude, if I can do it, if I can go through college and all that relational drama and be working, and I turned out all right, you can definitely do it, okay? So just stay focused on what matters. Get your priorities straight, time management, and also don't forget to take care of yourself. Eat good, have fun with friends. Yeah, take some time to yourself as well. That's very important.
So true. So true. I'm so happy I put this in. I had a friend of mine, and he's like, I think he's like 40, yeah, but a good friend of mine, and he told me the other day that he's having his first kid at 40. And, you know, I obviously said congratulations. I gave him a big hug and stuff. He's like, yeah, dude, like, I'm kind of scared. And I looked at him and I'm like, dude, look at me. If I can do it, you can do it. Like, I should be, this is what I'm saying. Like, I've been very fortunate in a lot of ways, but also at the same time, it's like, come on, man. It's like, I'm pretty crazy. I'm a pretty crazy guy. I do a lot of crazy things. I don't always make the best decisions. But having my son was the best decision I ever made. And when it comes to him, I try to make the best decisions. So you could definitely do it. That's what I'm saying.
He looks exactly like me. And so, for better or for worse, but I love it.
He likes putting on my shoes for some reason. He probably does it every time he comes over.
No, scrambled eggs and sausage. As of now, he naps one time a day, so I usually put him down for a nap, and then I'll get some work done on my computer or whatever I have to do for school. When we wake up, we keep playing, we make sure we get outside at least once a day, but I mean, he loves going.
This is just such, like, you know, young dad, like, problems and thought processes, and that's how I wanted it to be. I really wanted this video to just be, like, super raw and just real, you know, like talking about food and applesauce and eating eggs, you know, like it's so raw and real, and I'm really glad that everyone enjoyed it. And like I tried to read all the comments. I don't know how many comments are here. Okay, 5,000. I probably didn't read all 5,000 comments, but I read at least 1,000 of them.
Mateo, if you're watching this, Daddy loves you.
Wow. I mean, this was such a fun project. I love the whole idea of time capsule stuff, and I love nostalgia and creating memories, and that's what this was. And the support on it has been crazy, and I really appreciate it. And the vlogs that I've been doing with them, and you know, creating these experiences and documenting these experiences, I love that so many other people love it. At the end of the day, it is still just for my son, but I'm creating a pretty cool history, a pretty cool catalog. You can see right here. I'm creating a catalog basically for him. Catalog of all the things they did with his dad. God forbid anything happens to me, he'll have this, you know what I mean? And so yeah, I kind of wanted to rewatch this a little bit and break down what my thought processes were. And I hope you guys enjoyed. You guys can check out my other videos here, and this is the channel right here. So thanks.